we always find these really, one-of-a-kind cars when we're out doing these car shows. And Bob Baker here, he's got that Series 1 we were looking at earlier, but there's so many details about it that I overlooked. I'm going to talk to Bob himself. Bob, how you doing? Tell me about your car.
I'm doing great. This has the X50 package. I just bought it. It came out of Denver a couple of weeks ago. The seller had only put 1,930 miles on it. I consider this car probably one of the most classic. It's an American production car of which Carroll Shelby only made 249 of. So its value is going to be there, very much appreciated, like the
Slab size Cobras.
or the 275 GTB Ferraris when Enzo died.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't know what the X50 package is. Why don't you tell them what that includes?
Shelby, when he designed this car, hoped to make 500 cars that were about 375 horsepower. Oldsmobile had promised that to him. In came the engines. They tested them, and they got up to 325. And he had a lot of the people. He sort of put his foot in his mouth, and so he came out and designed a blower package that brought it up to 375.
So he was a man of his word. He made it happen.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to throw another $25,000 at the package too, because he made you buy the high piston brakes, and that was like 25 extras.
But you told me, though, the guy that bought this car originally went for a lot of the expensive packages. Tell me about the interior.
The leather package was about $10,000. The carbon fiber about another $1,000. The brakes and the blower put on $25,000 more. So out the door then, this car was $150,000. My friend at Shelby said the last one they sold that they made went over to Europe at $215,000.
Well, I'm not going to ask you what you paid. It's kind of like asking a woman what their age is. But, this isn't your only car, I hear.
The sheriff might be here.
This isn't your only car here. You're a driver of these Series 1 cars. Tell me about your other one.
I've been driving one that I was the original owner on, that number 223, and I've got about 20,000 miles on it. I was in the Players Run from New York to Hollywood in 2004, and that would have been, 2004. And we drive it like crazy with the Malibu Ferrari Rat Pack.
Oh, really? Over there in the canyon up and down PCH?
In the canyons, and the do-gooders have Operation Safe Canyon right now, so we drive and smile.
Well, for those of you back east and all that, the neighborhood doesn't like these guys going through their neighborhood, which is a canyon road in the middle of a beautiful canyon of Malibu. But anyway, that's another story. Bob, thank you for talking to us on Live Car Shows. I really appreciate it.
Good meeting you.
It was good meeting you, too. You got a couple of beautiful cars. We're looking at this one today, and we'll see you out again. Okay, we're on the last row of exotics, but what a row. This one here is a 2005 430 F1 Spider, and that's got the paddle shift. It's got upgraded sound. It's got custom wheels, titanium frame. It's got the engine exposed in the back. It's coming up on its anniversary, I hear from the owner. And then right next to it, got another good-looking Ferrari. It's a 1999 Ferrari coupe, really nice. And next to it, we have another 1999 Model 355 convertible. And then right here in racing trim, we have a 360 CS 2004. Really neat row of exotics. Well, we're finally out in the other part here. We've gone on from the classics, and we're at Vosden here, and he's got a Solstice, and we're coming off the flag and looking at a nice display he has on his hood. Tell us what the hood's all about.
The hood, well, basically I started on a summer solstice day, June 21st, from California. Moved all the way along the coast to Washington, then all the way east to Maine, and then down south to Florida, and then came back home to California in 40 days.
This summer?
This summer.
Well, that sounds like a blast. That's what our show's all about, are people that drive and take adventures in their cars. So did you do this by yourself?
Yes, I did, and I did take lots of pictures. I do have a website too.
Go ahead, give us your website. We'd love to see it.
It's www.40dayusa.com, which is 40dayusa.com.
Well, that's really cool.
That's the license plate. If you look at it, that's
say 40 days.
40 Day USA, 40DY USA.
Really? Well, this is a really neat story. Thanks for telling us about this. We never know what we're going to see here at Live Car Show. Great. Maybe next year we'll tag along with a camera.
Okay, sounds good.
If you come up with another trip like that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. You bet. Okay, we're looking at a really nice custom modified 1956 Chevy Bel Air. It's got a lowered suspension, custom paint, kind of a lime on two-tone black with a really neat interior. Bucket seats, 4-speed, updated gauges in the original dash housing, a tweed kind of treatment on the seats, and really neat. But then, under the hood, he doesn't leave it off there. There's an LS1 crammed under the hood, and it's got air conditioning, power brakes, radiator to keep it cool. This car can probably take you anywhere on a cruise. It's just really a nice car. And sitting right next to it is another, and I guess this will just blow your mind because it is blown, 1959 Impala Coupe with a gorgeous blown, customized Impala engine with valve covers on it, all chromed air, power steering, power brakes, obviously custom suspension. Interior's a nice mild done interior, sticks with the original theme of the chevrons, but neat center console, goes all the way in the back. Once again, just a gorgeous, gorgeous custom Impala. This is the epitome of 50 styling. 1954 Buick Skylark, turquoise with the two-tone interior. I mean, a diamond pattern, tuck and roll type of pattern in the things, and it goes all the way around the armrest. Even the headliner on the convertible top is just a work of art. Now, we saw this show out at the Woodley Park, this car at the Woodley Park show, and we did not get a chance to get around to the back because one of the most remarkable parts of this car is the rear end styling on this. As Steve pans back with the fly cam, you're really going to get a treat here. You're not going to see a 1954 Buick Skylark going down the street any day soon, I can guarantee you that. Well, you know what? We found the owner of the Skylark, and his name is Bill. And this isn't the one we saw a couple weeks ago out at Woodley Park. This is Bill's turquoise Skylark 1954. Bill, tell us about your car.
You gonna hold it?
Yeah.
This is one of about 200 left in the country.
Really?
Originally, they built 836 of them. There's a lot of them are out of the country at this point, and there's still several. There's probably 150 here in the United States.
What was Buick thinking when they built this Skylark in 54?
They made a 53 Skylark and a 54. 54 was the last year they made the Skylark convertible, and it wasn't a real big success. It was almost as much money as a Cadillac. 54 Eldorado was about almost $5,000, and this car sold for $4,800 in 1954, whereas the Chevy was about $1,600 to $2,200.
Right, so these kind of sat around, and that's why there's so few of them today. Is that what you're telling me?
No, they were sold. They sold them all out.
Okay.
But they weren't, from the restorer point of view, the 53 was more popular, but the 54 all of a sudden became more rare.
Really? Well, I mean, look at that grille and the bright work on the front of the car. I'm sure that the 2-year model's got to make it hard to restore something like that. How long did it take you?
This was a 2-year project.
Not bad for 2 years. I'll tell you, you did really good work.
But the biggest problem was I was missing a lot of parts, and since there's only a couple hundred left in the country, I was networking all over the United States, and I finally found the taillights were the hardest, the very hardest.
Well, that's the feature we highlighted a minute ago, because the rear of this has got to be one of the rarest designs of automotive styling out there.
There's so few taillights, and there's people looking for them all the time. A good restorable pair of taillights, you're going to spend $4,000 to $5,000 just for the taillights.
Well, but it pays off when you get a car this gorgeous. Now, the engine underneath the hood looks quite interesting. What would have got under the hood in this car this year in 54? What's special about it?
In 54, this is an overhead cam, V8. It's 322 cubic inches, 200 horsepower, and it came original with a 4-barrel only. Some of the options, actually, power steering was an option. Power seats was an option.
Is it a 6-volt system?
No, it was a 12-volt system.
12-volt system. Okay.
Actually, the second year of a 12-volt system.
Okay, well, really neat. Well, Bill, it's a beautiful Skylark. I thank you for bringing it out to the show. We appreciate it. Check us out on livecarshows.com.
I will.
You bet. Thank you.